to reach my dreams, to make it all come true, and to put my stamp in the world. I was that close to my dream. It was only 2 years, and I was going to be graduated and starting my own business, which is my dream of building my own consultancy. I was studying business administration and project management. And of course, I had everything around me. In 2011, we saw that there's something start in my own country, in Syria. But we were not realizing what was happening. One day, I was sitting with my family, drinking tea and chatting and having a normal day. And we just hear in a second, we run away to a room and then we start to hear ambulance, fire and police. We wondered, what's happening outside? What is going outside? Is that war? Is war knocking our door? Indeed. After a few minutes later, we opened the TV and we saw that the war, that it was far away from our home, today is knocking our door. And from that, I start to asking myself, what is going to be next? 4 years. 4 years living in the war. And in every day, I see on the TV people dying, children, old, young people. And I was wondering, who's going to be next? Me? My family? My friends? What I should do? Should I just stay in my place and do nothing? Should I just wait my death? No, that was not the plan. I thought that I should take step to change the reality, to do something, to save my dreams, to defend them. And I started thinking, okay, what I'm able to do, how I can solve what is happening. I cannot stop the war, but there's something I'm able to do. And I asked myself, am I going to do like 1,100 of people did before me? Am I going to leave everything after I build in 20 years? My work, my family, my friends? Is everything going for nothing? Indeed, I needed to take a step. And in 1 week, I prepared everything. I stopped my work, I stopped my university, I say goodbye to friends, and finally, my family. I still remember that day when I was standing on the door and just looking at my family with the pain in my heart and tears in my eyes. I needed to say goodbye to my family. I still remember that day on the door when my father, my grandmother, and my uncle, they were just standing, crying, and my mother was praying for me, asking the God for mercy. And she was saying, my son, my only son, I'm not sure if I'm going to see you again, but God bless you and save your soul. Indeed, I started a hell of a journey for 35 days. I traveled to Algeria, from Algeria in unlegal way to Libya, and I stayed there with the mafia, with the people who is able to kill you in any moment for 100 euro. That's what you are worth as a human being, 100 euro. Money is everything for them. But I needed to be there, because they are the people who will put me on a boat and send me to Europe. I didn't have any other choice to make. For 35 days, I stayed in Libya, and after that, the time came, and I needed to jump on the boat and start the sea journey. After 10 hours of the journey, the engineer from the boat stopped. 350 person on a small boat, children, young people, old people, with many nationalities. I saw all people start crying, start asking God for mercy. An engineer stop? What is going to be next? That feeling when death is controlling you. That feeling when indeed we all hear that when a person is going to die, he's just seeing all of his lives just running in 10 seconds. All of us has felt the same. And in a moment, we start to see light coming from the backside. And we thought that we are imagining that, because when a person in that moment, he is not able to see, to recognize the reality from the imagination. We start to take our phones, starting with the SOS, with the flashlight. Please help, please help. Indeed, it was a military boat, big boat. They came into us and they start rescuing us. In that moment, I realized that it's not my day. I have a value to add to the world, and this is not the end. We have been rescued. We went to Italy, stayed there a few days, and I asked myself, I was going to Sweden, but no, Sweden is not the place that I'm looking for. I heard some people advising me to go to Holland, and indeed, I took the train and I came to Holland. And it was really nice in the first time I arrived to Holland. I mean, I never saw Holland on real. It was only on the TV. I started seeing new people, and I was just imagining myself living with all of those people. It was amazing when they start talking Dutch. Klinkt echt goed. And I was so ambitious. I felt hope again. I felt faith again that it's not the end. No, it's not the end. And as every refugee do, we went to the camps. I stayed in the camp for 9 months. Well, basically 9 months, it's not a long time. But for 9 months, I was only able to breathe. For 9 months, I was doing nothing more than eating, sleeping, and waiting. And I asked myself, is that what I left my country for? I'm not able to do anything, not even learning, not even communicating with people, but I wait. Because I have no other choice. After 9 months, I took my house in Groningen, in Korreweg, and I said, that's it, here we go. That's the real life. Now I start my own life and meeting people, expanding my network, going to school, learning Dutch, and communicate with people. Because the feeling of belonging, this is the most thing we need in our life. To feel that we are belonging into this society. Indeed, I went to the school, I started learning Dutch, and I was meeting new people, poor man, poor vrouw, people around. It was really nice, and I was just looking forward for the next step. What is coming next for me? But in a moment, I said, okay, it's only refugees, newcomers around me, and I want to expand my network with Dutch people. What can I do? Volunteering, do things for the community, great. Going to the laboratory and meet people, great. What else? Going to the city, meet other people in the city, great. But that moment, when people start asking me, waar kom je vandaan? That was the moment of the truth. Unfortunately, I mean, I'm proud of myself and I'm just going, yeah, ik kom uit Syria. But they goes like, ooh, okay, keep a distance, keep a distance. Why? What I have done? I'm not an alien, I didn't came from Pluto. I'm just a human being. I have hopes, I have dreams, and I just want to meet friends, to meet people. Why you are judging me? Why you are stereotyping me just because of things you have never seen in your own eyes? Just because of media, they want to generalize Arabic people, Syrian refugees, or other type of refugees. But that is not the truth. We are just like all of you. We just need people to interact with them, to feel that we are alive. That is all what we're asking for. I depressed. And I was asking myself again. I left my work, my study, my friends, and my family. I left everything I built for 20 years for just being unaccepted in the society? Is that what I left all for? After a few days, I was going to just book my ticket and go back to my home country. I was telling myself, I am not going to stay in a society which is not accepting me just because they are not trying me. They are not seeing my inside, my values, my reality. And I prefer just go back and die the next day just in my society, with my people, because, again, I'm not an alien. I'm just a human being. And I remember that day, every day I wake up, I put motivational speeches on the TV. And I still remember that moment when Tony Robbins was saying, if you want to succeed, you should to burn the boat. Because when it's come to people, when they die, rather than succeed, they turn into succeed. And I remember that moment in the boat when was 350 person on the boat asking for mercy. They were just asking for a chance to change their life. And this is what we have got. A lot of people died in a lot of crises and a lot of wars. But we have been chosen to make change. There is something gave us life to add our value to the world. From that point, I told myself, I'm not going to stop. They like me or not, they want me or not, I will stay here. And I will do my best to prove who I am, to prove my values that I'm going to add to the society. Indeed, when a person becomes a positive, he attracts positive things into him. After that, in 1 week, I just got my email from the Aghyad school, and they were saying, "Dear Mr. AlSherfawi, you have been accepted to continue your study in Aghyad." And I was so ambitious about it. I mean, what's more beautiful than that? I'm just going to finish my study, build my consultancy, and do my dreams, do what I wanted to do. What is better than that? I'm not going to stop. I want to take it further. I want to take it to the next level. Indeed, after that, in 1 month, I met a person who changed my life, who gave me all the effort to take step and prove my values, my experience, and show what I can do. I met him via, and I told him that I'm looking for work. This is my experience. This is my value. This is what can I add. After that, I have been hired in Alpha College as an instructor, and I start meeting new people. I start seeing my colleagues, and they really like me. They really see who really I am because they experienced me. They saw who's really I am. And I start on the same time my study. I have met new people, new friends from Ukraine, Germany, and finally Netherlands also. But they didn't treat me as an alien because they have interacted with me every single day and they for real explore what is inside that person. Today, I'm a person who's adding value to the society. Today, I'm a founder of my own company, and I'm accepted just because people are seeing the reality. They are experiencing me. And finally, what I want to say, after 4 years in the Netherlands, if I had those things from the start, I would be another person. I would be more productive. I would be for real integrated from 4 years. I'm one of the million people outside who have the same stories. And what do they need? They just need people to accept them, to be accepted in this society, to have their rights in studying and working and have a normal life. And finally, your support. And please, don't forget to smile. A smile will cost you nothing, but it will add a lot of values to us. It will show us the reality of integration and build together for a better world. Thank you so much.